And we're back with another episode of What's Hockey, as we do every week. And we are returning from a 2 week break, actually, but we start with Around That Hockey.
One.
Keaton, well, there was a break in between. All right. I know you got some news for us. What's been happening?
Yeah, so I know I'd mentioned Stolars was day to day back in the last time we recorded, but he's going to end up missing about 4 to 6 weeks.
Mm.
So Joseph Wall is going to have to take on a bigger role with Dennis Hildeby is as the backup, whoever that guy is. I don't think he's that great,
They call him the
especially in comparison to
wildebeest.
Stolars, or they don't actually.
They might.
They would not.
That's a good. They can
So
make a
yeah,
brick wall in the wildebeest.
it's a Hildebeest if you want
Yeah,
to be accurate,
call him that. That works.
idiot. But anyway, yeah. So Leafs may not be so great going on, but who knows? Joseph Wall's all right.
Yep.
So
And
Capo Caco is a
continues.
Seattle Kraken at this point, for a third and sixth rounder and 25, and Will Borgen. New York is shuffling some pieces around, and hopefully he's just looking for a future as opposed to winning right now.
That was the Islanders or the Rangers.
I want to say it was the Islanders because it could have been the Rangers, though. They're
Low key, I
both New
think it
York
was
teams.
the yeah. I think it was low key the Rangers.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they've been shuffling around anyway, so I think that's what I was inferring. But yeah, I didn't write which team. I just said New York, and that's kind of hard when there's two
Well, I
New
was
York
just
teams.
curious, especially with the Rangers being like a massive disappointment this year, if they're just selling off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that that's who it is, and they're just trying to get rid of players and then look for the future and then just shuffle around whatever they've got because they got rid of Truba. I know they ironed out Shesterkin, but um,
They just need to build around Matt Rempe.
totally. Speaking of Matt Rempe, he took a shot at Miro Heiskanen
Mm,
on the 20th of December and got ejected. It is his fourth ejection from 22 games played. So,
dude, oh
pretty
my
good rate
god.
of ejections. I think his penalty ice minutes definitely tops the amount of ice he's like actually played on.
Mhm.
Um, he was suspended for 8 games doing that. So I mean, he's pretty bad.
God, he's
You
just a
know, I
goon. Like
know,
he's solely there just to
yeah,
like beat on people, and like it's
but
wild
it's
too,
like
because
he
like
could be so much better
the
because
hit
the
on
Rangers aren't developing him whatsoever, and they
the
just endorse his antics. It's just
yeah. I mean, you gotta
whatever.
convince fans to come to the game somehow. So you're just like, yeah, we got this mauling
Play
six
good
foot
hockey.
five beat. Well, they're obviously not doing that. They've given up on the ability. They know they can't play
They
good
need to.
hockey. So they're like, all right, we'll just New Yorkers like brawls. We'll just have a guy out here brawling all day. That hit on Miro was so bad and so pointless.
Pretty
Like,
nasty.
and I don't know, normally when there's some physicality going on, I'm always going to be on the side of like, yeah, let's go for it, be physical. So I think I'm like coming off as a hypocrite or defending the Dallas Star player, but that hit from Rempe was so useless. An elbow to like the back side of the head and mashes him into the
Yeah.
glass. It didn't serve the Rangers any purpose at all either. So like I don't
Yeah,
know,
weren't they
man. Just
down like 5 goals at that point
I
too?
don't exactly
And
remember, but I mean it was just useless. And so yeah, the
yeah.
guy's just a goon, man.
Yeah, and he's like 6'7". A lot of people are like, or maybe even taller, I don't know. But a lot of people are blaming his height, but there's definitely bigger people that don't hit people viciously. So I mean, all you gotta do is have some training.
I would think
And I
that
mean,
someone
physicality's great, but you
shorter,
gotta be
I mean, you
better.
got to be smart with it too. I think
Yeah.
like it doesn't even make sense to blame the height there because I kind of get what they're saying, but if you're gonna raise your elbow, that's like that's something that, especially when you're at that height, you don't need to really do. You can check someone in the normal fashion,
Yeah.
and you're fine. But to raise your elbow up, you're already at a height advantage, and then you go straight to the dome with that. That's crazy. Bad excuse.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. But yeah, other news: Alexander Carrier, I think, is
Carrier.
now going to. Could be. Could be, dog. He's going to Montreal for Justin Barron going to Nashville.
Well, if he
So,
was Carrier before his arrival in Montreal, they switch it to Carrier to Frenchify
yeah,
it.
good one, dog.
Yeah, your silence right
So
there just
yeah,
put it over the top too.
Carrier is 7 points in 28 games, and Barron is only 23, has a goal in 17 games this year. So it looks like it's more of a future down the road type deal, especially since he's only 23. But yeah, seems like a good trade, maybe, you know. Yeah.
Who knows?
I
Who
mean, it
could
was a
say?
guy for a guy, so, it
I'm
was pretty
imagining the
simple.
person who tuned into this podcast to find out like who won this trade, like why do they win it, and you're like, who knows?
I mean, I bet it was the Predators because, I mean, like, they're getting a younger player, can develop him if they have the capabilities of doing so. Clearly, the Rangers don't, so hopefully they do. But yeah, I don't know. I'm always on the, I guess, bias of having younger players and, having stars come out of them and then having a good dynasty or so. But, it all depends on how you develop.
Sounds like you're playing Madden over there. Just going for that rookie
Does it?
draft every. Yeah. That's how most home
You
GMs
mean
go.
NHL 24 or whatever
Well,
they
you didn't
call it?
grow up playing that, so I had to go to a game you did grow up playing.
Okay, yeah, but we're talking about hockey. How does that make any sense?
Because the strategy over
Idiot.
there is to always go young and draft rather than sign someone who's 30. But in hockey, I mean, you don't
Why
mind the
would you
guy
sign
who's
someone who's
35,
30?
30. Well, why'd y'all sign
I
Patrick
would.
Kane? I mean, like, just bringing in
I
that
didn't.
veteran. You're the damn Red Wings.
I didn't. I
But the
am not the
purpose.
GM.
Okay, my point. The purpose of doing that is bringing
He's
in
got
that
no point.
veteran leadership.
So
So the
know what's
strategy of
crazy? Buffalo
always going
Sabres
young
broke their
doesn't
13
work.
game
You're
losing
the worst
streak.
person to ever do a podcast with.
They were like on a 13 game losing streak and they broke it. It's pretty crazy. They ended up winning 7-1 against the Islanders, which is quite the way to end a streak of losing. They're definitely far from coming back, but they can win sometimes.
Yeah,
Pretty
faux
cool.
show. They can do that.
Sidney Crosby has eclipsed Mario Lemieux's record for assists in Penguins franchise history. So
Trash.
he's old, but he's definitely deserving of praise and admiration. I mean, he's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't think so?
No, I liked your comment about him being old, though. The nickname "the Kid" just doesn't work for him anymore. But yeah, all right, continue.
Well, isn't he like 35 to 39 years old?
I would say that's a fair range. Don't have the exact number
Yeah.
off the top, but
You should know exactly when he was born.
that's on me. I was there.
Where he was born too, the hospital and everything.
He's 37, and he was born in. Doesn't specify whether
Canada.
it was a hospital there or
He's
not.
probably in Canada,
So he was born in a
Bull
snowstorm.
Harbor, Canada.
I think a Yeti was the
Good one, dog.
midwife
I don't
there.
think that's an accurate assessment.
It's possible.
But anyway, Alex Ovechkin broke his leg and is now back in lineups. He scored a goal in both of the games he's played since. Pretty solid.
Dude,
The Capitals went 11-5-1 without him, including the game he was injured. So, I mean, they didn't really need him, I guess. But, I mean, he's definitely adding everything he can because, he got a goal in both games. The first game he came back against the Leafs, he had a goal, 3 hits. like his leg doesn't even matter, and 3 shots on goal. So yeah, I mean, pretty good. Even against the Red Wings, he had 8 shots on goal and another goal to boot. So it's pretty crazy. He even got another hit. So after the injury, he's definitely not scared of re-injury. So I
Dude,
mean,
it's
obviously depends on where
absurd.
he's hitting him, but he's a machine. That guy is unstoppable,
I don't know
even at
really.
like 39 years old, which is like, I don't know, that's
He's a
ridiculous.
dinosaur in the sports world, and especially like we talked, or I just mentioned, NHL teams like bringing the veteran presence. You can play a little late in your career, but it's such a physically demanding sport to
I
like
mean, the
come
good thing
back
is,
from a
hasn't
broken
he always been
leg.
with the Capitals?
Yes, yeah, I'm
So
pretty
I mean,
sure.
that's even greater.
Dude,
I don't
this
know.
guy is incredible. And I feel like the last 3, 4 weeks of our podcast, we talk about like how great he was doing before the injury, how quick he's recovering, and now how good he is
And there
the
was like
second he gets
I
back.
saw like a graphic where his best season ever was like point 0.7 goals a game or something like that, and right now he's on pace for point 0.8 goals a game,
No, they need to drug
which
test him.
even
That's
injured, he's still doing better than he did last time, which is ridiculous. Because I think
injured,
he's
way out of his
25 away
prime.
from yeah, he's 25 away from the NHL record. So or
Good
the
God.
goals record rather. But yeah, pretty ridiculous. Um, but yeah, looks like Nathan McKinnon is running away with being the points leader. He's got 60. The next one up is 55 with Draisaitl, Kucherov at 54, Rantanen at 53, and McDavid at 52. So I mean, it seems like he's just going off. So
Yeah.
he's getting like 18 assists per game. It's pretty ridiculous.
By chance, do you
I don't know.
know how many games McDavid has missed this year?
I don't
I
think a
I didn't mean to
lot.
put you on the spot. It was just like a week, right?
I
Like
don't
it
even.
wasn't a lot. Two
I
weeks
don't know.
maybe.
You probably know more. I didn't even know he was
Trying to
out. He probably could have missed one game, and I wouldn't have known.
That's also a possibility. I don't know. I shouldn't have asked that. Moving on.
Good one, dog.
Well, I was just
How
curious to
long has he
see
been out?
because I know. So, how many points did you say McKinnon has?
60, and
60.
McDavid has 52,
Okay. No, I was just curious how many games in
and
hand
McKinnon's at 46 assists. So that's even more ridiculous. The
That's
next one up is
absurd.
38. So yeah, I don't. It's yeah,
27.
pretty ridiculous. Dreisaitl's atop the goal leader at 26, and the next
Mhm.
one up is a tie for third, the second place, I guess, between three players: Kaprizov, Point, and Nylander. So yeah, pretty crazy.
Bro, Kaprizov
But yeah,
is Kaprizov's been like
I
leading the
actually
hell
heard
out of
that
the
it's
Wild.
Kaprizov.
Oh, is
I'm
it
pretty sure it's Kaprizov. Yeah,
Kaprizov? Dude, he's been
yeah,
leading, and I think Loki he missed the
he's crazy.
last game. I don't think he played the game against Dallas, but he's insane, man. I
Why wouldn't he
believe
have?
he's leading Minnesota in like every major category. I should look that up before I just say that outright, but I know he's like just
He
going
probably
insane.
is.
Let's
He's
see.
got so many defending points and everything.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
he's a defenseman.
He saves goals at times for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he did play on, what was it, Saturday? No, Friday.
Friday, yeah. So I mean, like he's leading them in points, of course, leading them in goals, leading them in assists, which obviously makes sense if he's leading in points. But I mean,
Yeah.
he's literally insane. Like looking at these numbers is stupid. But 50
Yeah.
points in 34 games. Yeesh. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I kind of feel like Minnesota's not deep enough to like keep it going. Like I don't think Kirill is like that
They had a
Connor.
pretty good stretch.
They absolutely
Didn't they
did.
win like 8 in a row or something?
I
I don't
don't
know. It's
remember
probably not that many.
exactly how much it expanded, but I mean, like, look, they're second in the Stars division right now. They started
Yeah.
insanely hot. I know they have a few more games in hand Then the Stars and Colorado, I believe. No, tied with Colorado. Stars have 2 more games to catch up with them. But no, man, the Wild, incredible start. I feel like they're kind of sputtering a little, but we'll see when Kaprizov gets back.
Yeah, well, I mean, they aren't the Sabres, so there's some silver lining.
Ooh,
I think I saw
Jesus.
some player that said, I think it was on the Wild, it could have been Faber or someone else, but they were like, yeah, this dip isn't fun, but at least we're not Buffalo. And yeah, pretty
Oh my
pretty
god.
dreary when you're getting compared to like that. But this past couple weeks, we did get a coach fire, and
Yes.
Derek Lalonde got kicked out, and it
Mm.
was pretty great because he got replaced immediately. We didn't have some random interim head coach. We now have Todd McClellan. So hopefully, he can turn this, dumpster fire out of commission. So
Well,
yeah.
yeah. Do you know what was his position before they hired him as the head coach? Do you know
He
where he
was
was?
probably some guy,
Just was he like a bench coach for y'all?
I don't know.
All right, my fault.
Yeah,
I feel like
you wouldn't know.
you're prepared for headlines, and then if I dig any bit deeper, you're like, I have no
Well, you're the
idea.
one that doesn't do research at all, so maybe you should do that.
Yeah, but that's my quirk is I don't do any research. You're supposed to be our guy.
Yeah, that's not a quirk.
It's demure. I
It's
don't know.
not.
Anyway, but
You're
yeah,
just an
so
idiot.
how many games have y'all played under your new head coach's command? Was it just the one?
2 games.
Two?
We ended up winning one and losing one. Yeah.
All right, all right.
So the game he came back, we did lose, but obviously, I would
Trash.
say it's not just one thing that is wrong with the Red Wings. It's
Mm.
probably just a bunch of things in addition to that piece of shit priority patch that apparently has cursed us. But yeah,
Gotcha.
as far as the projections, we did go 2-4, like I thought we would. Just adding in those other games, because we only really mentioned the 1 week, but obviously we were out for 2. So
Yes.
yeah, we played the Flyers. Ended up playing pretty well, and it was a close game, 1-1, 2-2. Ended up getting away with it, going 4-2, and they end up tying 4-4. Patrick Kane ends up hitting the lead goal to make it 5-4, and Lucas Raymond hits the empty netter to end it 6-4. So we ended up taking that win, and it's pretty fun. The Flyers are trash, but we're just a little less trash than they were that night.
Nice, nice.
The next up, we played the Canadiens back to back on, I believe, Friday and Saturday. Pretty rough because the first game we were pretty good. Ended up scoring 4 goals in the first period, 2 apiece. But yeah, they just kind of take away with it. Yeah, because our PK kind of sucks. Patrick Laine ends up getting a power play goal. I think he's leading the league in power play goals, even though he was out for like 2 months to start. So,
Mm-hmm.
he's a pretty good player, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, absolutely.
And it's not like Detroit really did much offensively, so we kind of suck. And the next game with Montreal ended up sucking ass. It was 5-1. Yeah, pretty good.
Mm.
Yeah.
5-1
So
to
pretty,
Montreal.
yeah,
That's
it
pretty
was pretty
solid.
good. And then we play the Blues on Monday, and we take another loss, 4-0. Pretty
Ugh,
good.
Jesus Christ.
Dylan Holloway ends up getting a hat trick, and the Wings didn't show to play. I think they got booed off the ice at the end of that game in Detroit. The classic. Oh, I'm shaking the camera pretty much. But yeah, pretty rough stuff. The next game ends up being Todd McClellan's debut, and unfortunately, it's just not one thing that was wrong with them. They sprint to their 5-score lead. I think it was like 5-1 by the end of the first period.
Jesus
Pretty
Christ.
bad. But yeah, rough stuff. Talbot drew the start, but Alex Lyon relieved him by the start of the third period and only got 2 shots on goal. So, I mean,
So defense
not bad at
stepped
all.
up in the end, or the other team just quit
Yeah.
attacking.
Yeah, a bit of both. I mean, they were already up 5-1. I can't remember exactly what ended it. But wasn't very good. I think, yeah, we only got 2 goals. So it was 5-2, but pretty bad. After the game, the Red Wings had the longest practice of the year this year, and apparently it just barely went over an hour. So I don't really understand what Derek Lalonde was doing at all. Because if you're not practicing for over an hour every time you practice, that's probably why we're not showing up to play on game day.
Middle schoolers
So
have
I
longer
don't
practice than that. That's insane to
I don't
me.
understand that at all.
Yeah.
But the game up next, we play the Capitals, and we give them what for, because we end up winning 4-2. And I think we've scored 4 goals in the first and second period. Let me take a look.
Hey, over the Caps. That's
it was
a good
pretty
win.
quick. Yeah, it was a pretty good win. Let me just confirm. So yeah, it was 4-1 at the end of the first period. Pretty ridiculous. And that one goal was by Alex Ovechkin. So pretty solid. But yeah, like I said, ended up going 2-4, just not the 2-4 I thought we would go. I thought we'd win against Montreal and then lose out the rest of the other games. But hey, we got a new coach, so there's something different going on.
Hey.
Maybe we can finally be a little bit better. I think Dylan Larkin had a quote where it's nice to have a coach with some experience. So
Okay.
yeah, there's just a lot of good things that come from getting rid of the Penguin or Gru.
Dude, everything
however
I've
you'd
heard
like.
out of his tenure there, I'm amazed he made it this far. Like it.
Yeah,
just
I think it was 3.5
awful.
seasons at this point, and that's ridiculous to have had this bad of a this bad of a rap. Whatever.
He's the anti Dan Campbell in Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, I think there were some. I think it was Iserman that wants Dan Campbell to come by and like say something to the guys.
Fire up the boys.
At least last year, I don't know. I think he visited the Pistons. Maybe I don't know.
I think.
Could have.
Do you
Probably
remember
didn't.
in London? Was it a London hockey league where there was a murder? I don't remember if they ended up being convicted for murder.
A murder.
They were tried.
Murder.
Yeah.
It was manslaughter, dog. You think it was intentional? Come on, dog.
So far away.
Murder.
Yeah.
I mean, it is totally different. Come on.
It's not totally
He
different.
didn't murder them.
It's a different classification of taking a life. Like, it's still taking a life. Anyway, you jumped
you didn't
way
say
ahead.
taking a life. You said murder.
You jumped
But
way
anyway.
ahead of my point. Dan Campbell's going to come in. I think you're going to have players ripping their skates off and going at throats. They're, of course, cannibalizing, biting kneecaps. I think that'd be good for your team.
Kneecap soup, yeah.
And, that might work.
Yeah, you're an idiot. But, we played a pretty good game against the Capitals. Hope we can continue that on. Next up, we play the Penguins, Blue Jackets, and Jets for this coming week
0-3.
On Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, respectively. I'm pretty sure we're going to go 3-0 because the Jets are trash, and I'm not scared of them. And the Penguins and Blue Jackets are a little bit worse trash than the Jets.
A little bit worse.
Alex
trash.
Lyon does end up coming back from injury, so we can finally shove Billy Husso back down on the depth chart. He does not deserve any more starts, in my opinion. Hopefully we can terminate his contract and maybe he can just quit hockey. He's not very good at it.
Okay, fair
So
enough.
yeah, maybe Sebastian Casa can come out of this disgusting display of goaltending. But looks like we seemingly do have our best bet with Talbot and Lyon, but Talbot's pretty trash too.
Talbot.
It definitely doesn't help that our defense is horrible, but I mean, come on. There's some goalies that do pretty well,
Yes. Y'all don't
and
have any
they're
of
not
them.
on the Red Wings.
Yep. Anyway, now to a team that's actually good. Away from the Red
They're
Wings, we'll go to the
trash. You're
Dallas
not even
Stars.
second in your division. It's horrible.
That's fine. It's a good division, and we'll make the comeback. Don't even worry
It's
about
not a
it.
good division. You are division with the Predators. You're trash.
Yeah, but
And the Blackhawks. You're trash.
yeah, we also have the Jets, who are like the number one team in the league for the entire year. We talked about the Wild
They're
being
trash.
dominant and the Avalanche being good.
The Golden Knights are
But
gonna
anyway,
dethrone their bitch ass.
as I'm talking about teams that are better than the Red Wings, I can't say that last week looked that
Not
way for
many.
Dallas. We went ahead and lost to the Maple Leafs, which I had predicted.
Trash.
Jason Robertson's brother, God, I forget his first name.
Do you remember?
Todd, Jim, Smith. Jason Robertson's brother, where is his
Todd.
name?
Yeah.
Nicholas. Nicholas with a goal and an assist in that game. One off a turnover that absolutely had me beside myself, where we just give it away to them. And it was that a shorthanded goal? Shit, I forget if that was a shorthanded goal. I mean, it was.
This guy.
The first period looked great. It looked all Dallas Stars, but the second and third couldn't have been further from that beginning slate. It was all Toronto Maple Leafs from that point on. They go ahead and cruise to honestly a very, I don't want to say very easy, but they handle business 5-3. We go ahead and play the Rangers, Keaton, and I had projected a win in that one. And I was wrong, because what the hell were we doing? First period ends, it's 2 to
Trash.
1, no goals scored in the second, and an empty netter scored in the third. And that's the entire scoring summary, 3 to 1. We could not get any offense going. I remember telling you, the Stars are kind of figuring out their lines without Tyler
Kind of trash
Seguin.
too.
Nah, I don't want to say trash, but they just haven't got it going. I need Rope Hintz to step up more. He had the lone goal in that Rangers game, but Rope should be at a different level. Robertson and Kirill, how'd you say it? Kaprizov?
Kaprizov.
Both
It's
of
like a
them were
Capri Sun, but not.
nice, nice.
That'll help you because you're a little kid.
Thank you. Jason Robertson and Capri Sunsov were the two in contention for the Rookie of the Year award. I forget the name of it. Is that Calder? But they were in contention for this Rookie of the Year award. We've seen Kirill continue his trajectory upward, but Jason's taken a little bit of a step back. So I need him to get going offensively. Wyatt Johnson as well. I mean, there's a lot of youth on this team.
Johnston.
Johnston. Stankoven, he had a big goal drought. I don't think he broke it during this last week. Maybe
Stanky.
he did. Stank the tank. He got an assist in that Blackhawks game.
That's great, dog.
Thank you. I gotta stop, letting my
Not
mind
thanking
take
you.
my brain is all over the place. But anyway, so we
I
go
don't know
ahead
why.
and lose that game to the Rangers.
Big
We go
old-
ahead and follow that up. Well, there of course is. I know we play one more game before the Christmas break. We had Utah in Utah playing the apropos appropriate. I don't know what I'm going for here. The appropriately named
That was
hockey
good.
club who plays hockey in Utah, and we go ahead and take care of business there. I mean, these are the retreads
Barely.
from Arizona. That's all right.
3-2.
Yeah. Utah got their last one in the third period. I mean, it was 3-1 for the majority. Well,
They could have came back.
Did
You
they?
didn't get an empty netter to secure the victory.
Yeah. I mean, we scored our goals in pretty quick succession too. The second one, 7 left in the second, or 5 minutes apart. Jamie,
Session.
yes, Jamie gets involved and goes ahead and puts in a goal, which I need that veteran leadership. I
You're
don't
pretty
want him.
familiar with that guy.
Thank you. I don't need him leading the team and scoring, kind of like Sagan was for a bit. I want my youth to step up, but leading by example is always good. It was killing me that Pavelski in the playoffs could not.
You must play
going.
Madden.
You're the worst.
I mean, you're the one that brought that up.
Yeah, an hour ago. It has no relevance right now.
An hour ago, okay.
Friday after Christmas, I actually went to that game against the Minnesota Wild, and we lost it. We went to overtime in that one. I mean, we squandered it. Was 2-0, I believe.
Squandered.
Absolutely unraveled. It was 2-0. They get 2 in the third, and then 1, of course, in overtime to end the game.
That's crazy.
I don't know what it is with the Stars, either starting super hot and then cooling down late, or starting ice cold and then heating it up and getting it going. They need to be more consistent with their play. But hey, that's hockey, man. Minnesota's not bad. Teams.
What's hockey?
Yep. And lastly, we played the Blackhawks, and we won that game 5-1 on Sunday night. I mean, finally the offense gets going. It is Chicago, but to be fair, the last time we played Chicago, in Chicago, I think it was as well, they beat the hell out of us. Like, I think they won.
Wasn't it like 5-1 the other way?
I'm pretty sure it was. If not, it was
a pretty bad game.
Yeah, it's ±1 goal from that score. I mean, but completely flipping the script on there, trying to get your winning ways back, that's a good step in the right direction. Going forward this upcoming week, the Stars will be playing 3 games. When do we record? Tuesday?
0-3 then?
Our next game is it's 2 games, and there's a game on Tuesday. I can go ahead and predict that now. We're hosting I'm sorry. It's a Sabres game today. We're hosting the Sabres. Bro, Sabres can't beat it. There's no reason for the Sabres to beat us.
They broke their 13-game losing streak with a 7-1 victory against the Islanders. You could just take that loss.
Well, let's go ahead and start.
Could be 8-0.
We're gonna start a new streak tonight. Stars win against the Sabres. Stars are hosting.
They're probably already on a streak.
Yep, the Senators.
They're fucking terrible.
I'll say the Stars win that game. On Saturday we will host Utah. So we got 3 straight home games. We're hosting Utah, and I'll go ahead and say we take care of business in Utah. So 3-0 with all the games before we record again on Tuesday. That Tuesday night we play the Rangers in New York, and I'll say we get some revenge after they took care of business over here. Stars win that one. So 4-0 in total.
Not even close.
And
you're probably going to go 2-2.
We've been picking some games across the league against the spread. Last week, you went ahead and posted a 6-4 record. I posted a 4-6 record. So you extend your lead. Your total record.
I was also 1-1 last time, and you said I was 0-2.
You can go through.
You better put some respect on my name.
You can go through and check it if you'd like.
I already did. Don't worry. I have this. It already says the correction. You were wrong.
Nice. Am I wrong?
You got to put respect on my name.
Shut up.
What?
Okay, 24-22 is your record on the season. Mine is 21-25.
So much better than you.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so much, but anyway.
You're pretty bad at picking
Let's go to today's spreads. We're going to start with the game.
This guy called me daft for picking the Sharks against Winnipeg, and they pulled through for me.
They surprisingly did. We're going to go ahead and start with the Bruins and the Capitals taking place in Washington at 11:30 a.m. Starts in under an hour.
Pretty early game.
Very much so.
Yeah. I will say the Capitals take this one. Bruins can't handle Dylan Strome and Alex Ovechkin. And they've been kind of mediocre. They've been losing a few games here and there that just leave me leave me scratching my head.
All right, so you're
Doesn't make any
going.
sense.
Yeah, I gotcha. Washington Capitals minus 1.5. I see no reason to go against everything you're saying, so I will too take the Capitals minus one and a
This guy
half.
just loves to debate.
At noon, we got the Islanders and the Maple Leafs taking place in Toronto. Spread in that one is Maple Leafs minus 1.5. Who are you taking?
Taking the Maple Leafs, the aforementioned Islanders have lost to the Sabres 7-1.
Mm,
They're pretty bad.
you're saying that's not
I mean, if they
good.
can lose to the Sabres that bad, I don't know, man. And let me just take a look at their awful win streak. It's losing one. They lost their last game,
Nice.
and they've gone 5-5. I guess.
That's pretty fire. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Maple Leafs as well. Moving on, a game at 2 o'clock. This is definitely spread out a lot better than earlier in the season when they decided to have 18 games going at once. The Montreal
Yeah.
Canadiens are going to Vegas. The spread in that one is Vegas minus 1.5. Who are you taking there, Keaton?
I think the Golden Knights extend their win streak to 7. Um,
Is it going to be by more
but
than a goal and a half?
I am interested in that. I think they'll do it. Yeah, I'll pick the Golden Knights in this one because I mean Montreal's pretty solid with Line, but they're just not as good.
Clean sweep as I too will take the Golden Knights. 4 p.m. We got the St. Louis Blues traveling to Chicago to take on the Blackhawks. It will be Blues minus 1.5. Who do you got there?
I'm gonna roll with the St. Louis Blues because Bedard is their diamond in the rough, and it's been rough to watch anyone other than him. So
Respectable answer, but I'm taking the opposite. Hometown Chicago's going to get it done. I mean, they could lose this one by one, and I'd still cover. I'll take Chicago with the 1.5 goal
it's gonna be
advantage.
4-0, and they're gonna lose.
Now, Keaton and I had mentioned that the NHL stacked the games better this time around. Well, that completely comes crumbling down when we get to the 7 o'clock window. As in the 7 o'clock hour,
This guy.
we have 7
Yeah, they always
games
play like
played.
1 or 2 games in the middle, and then they're like, "All right, here's everything else."
Yeah, for them to put
Pretty
4
bad.
before the 7 o'clock window and not stacked too much, 11:30 and 12 is kind of on top of each other.
Like, why not have a 3 o'clock game or a 4 o'clock game? Maybe even a 5 o'clock game. That's pretty crazy.
I think you have a fair point, but instead, the NHL has stacked 7 games in a 1 hour block, and the remaining 2
As
in
they
the very
always
next
do.
hour. We will start with your team, the Detroit Red Wings. They're going to be hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins. It is Red Wings minus 1.5.
I'm going to take the Red Wings. That went against Washington, the Capitals. Definitely helped my decision with this one. And Todd McClellan has ousted Derek Lalonde, and we are probably good to go for this next one.
Yeah, I do believe in the new coach bump, so I will say Red Wings minus 1.5 as well. Moving on, the Hurricanes and the Blue Jackets. It's in Columbus. Spreading that one is Carolina minus 1.5. Who you got there?
I like Carolina. The Hurricanes are just that much better.
All right, clean sweep as I will not be backing the boys in Blue Jackets. Give me the Hurricanes. Moving on, the Dallas Stars will be playing host to the Buffalo Sabres. The spread in this one is Stars minus 1.5. Who are you taking?
I'm gonna roll with the Stars. The Sabres are on a 3-game win streak. They'll probably just lose.
Nice. I hope so, certainly. Moving on to
Hope so.
Hey, why not?
You didn't even pick.
Oh, did I not say the Stars? Stars. I wrote it down. Uh,
Good one.
Moving on to two teams within the Stars division. The Predators are traveling to Minnesota to take on the Wild. Spread in that game
Nobody
is
cares.
Wild minus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
I do like the Minnesota Wild for this game because the Predators are trash.
All right. It appears that outside of one game, we've picked the exact same winners because I too will be taking the Wild. There are a few more to go,
Good one,
though. The
dog.
Winnipeg Jets are traveling to Colorado to take on the Avalanche, who have a recently signed goalie back there, a re signed goalie, I should say, old Mackenzie Blackwood. Spread in that game is Colorado minus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
I'm taking the Avalanche in this one. Yeah.
All right. I can't blame you for being fooled into taking the Avalanche. I will be taking the winner of the game plus the points, the Winnipeg Jets plus 1.5. I just like the divisional matchup there. I think it's going to be a close game. I can see Colorado maybe edging
Uh,
them out by a goal, but I think the Jets will fly high and take care
they'll
of
get an empty
business.
netter and take care of business, dog.
I certainly hope not. Moving on, the New Jersey Devils are taking on the Anaheim Ducks. Spread in Anaheim, I should say. Spread in that game is Devils minus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
The fouls have been pretty foul, so I'm going to roll with the Devils.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty easy, sane decision that I will follow
Now,
as
you
well.
like the Ducks.
No, no, no.
You're a big fan of the Ducks.
I am. Moving on. The Flyers and the Sharks in San Jose. Spread in that game is Flyers minus 1.5. Keaton, who you taking?
I'm going to roll with the Sharks in this one and a tight loss potentially. But yeah, the Flyers haven't really shown much of anything.
Yep. I have the same concerns with the lackadaisical Flyers. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Sharks in that one as well. Moving on, the Canucks will be staying in Canada but traveling to Calgary to take on the Flames. Spreading that one is Calgary minus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
I do like the Canucks in this one. They are out with a few players. I think Quinn Hughes may or may not be available for that game, but I still think that the Canucks can take care of the Flames. The Flames just kind of been embers at this point. You know, they're just not those big flames that they started out to be.
Yeah, while I got burned by the Flames the last time I picked them in the spread, I'm gonna go ahead and roll with them again. Flames minus 1.5 at home. Teams are pretty well matched, I would say, but I think there's
They're not.
just a little bit of that edge to the home ice. I'll take the Flames
You
there.
love edges.
Yes. Moving on to our final game, the
This
Utah
guy
Hockey
edges all the
Club.
time.
This is not the program for that talk, Keaton. The final game, the Utah Hockey Club is traveling to Edmonton to take on the Oilers. Spread in that one is Oilers minus 1.5. Who are you taking?
I'm taking the Oilers because you can't really have much passion as being called the hockey club.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, Hockey Club
why do you want to
trash.
win for a game or a team that sounds like that? You know?
You convinced me to
Do you even have a
never.
mascot?
Yeah, I'll never go
Is it a
pro in
hockey stick?
Utah. That got me. So it looks like for this week, of all these games, we've only picked three different. I feel like a lot of these were kind of like self explanatory, obvious picks. Like, I don't know, why would you take the Predators on the road at the Wild? But hey, we'll see, Keaton, if you can extend the lead that you've created over the last few weeks. Or if I can tie it up. I am down
Maintain
by
it?
three.
I will definitely maintain it.
So it's
So,
possible I can knot it up this week. And not just possible, it will happen. I know it. Keaton, we always
you're pretty
end the
bad.
show with some prize picks bets. Now, I
I
believe
cashed out, bitch.
I believe our show went 2-0 for the first time either of us have hit anything. But 2-0, it feels good to be in the green, Keaton. Well, I guess technically we're still in the
Yeah.
red, but we're working our way
Beck
to the black.
Malenstein and Braden Point, they pulled through, That's
Oh,
pretty great.
Malenstein. And I
As
had
Malestein, I think, without an N.
no one knows what you're
Yeah,
talking about. Yeah, it
you
was
don't. You're
Malenstein.
an idiot.
And I had Marchenko
I thought you said
and Connor.
Valentine's.
You're the worst person to ever talk to.
This guy is an idiot.
Who are you taking this week?
I've got Andrei Svechnikov, and with his hits getting over 1.5, so he's getting 2 or more. And Mo Sider, good old faithful, getting more than 25 minutes because he is our best defenseman. And, I do see that the Penguins can score here and there, and they'll probably make it a decent game early on. But, yeah.
All right. And I'm going to go ahead and go with Rasmus Dahlin, minus 24.5 time on ice. And then I'm going to go with Martin.
He's getting 26 minutes.
Yeah. Martin Pospisil, I think that's how you say it, to get over 2.5 hits. Keaton, I'm feeling a little streak starting up. Let's go 2-0 again. I believe.
Yeah, time on ice and hits. We've got to get it done.
Absolutely. I think that's everything for the show. Am I forgetting anything?
No, I think we should be good.
All right.
But, yeah.
Well,
Pardon my shaky computer. But, yeah.
I'm sure you only gave like 2 people a seizure. That's all right. Anyway, Happy New Year, y'all. Take care. Peace.